Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It is Tuesday. We are back. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are back in the place to be. We got Ginger back, chat. Ginger is officially back this morning. I heard somebody opening the door. I'm like, oh, like, who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? So, yeah, guys. So, pleasant surprise. For some reason, I thought Ginger was flying back today, and she, I guess, was apparently flying back last night. So, let's go. Ginger's in the house. Yeah, guys. So, just a quick disclaimer. So, PW is actually taking some time off. He's on vacation. He's in Mexico doing some racing, right? So, lifelong dream of his. He's getting some R&R as well, I guess. So, I'm officially streaming this AM session and, you know, about 9 to 11:30, and then I'll be back 1:30 to 4. Let's go for the entire week. So, same as yesterday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, Patrick will be back. I miss him too. He'll be back next week. But never worry, D-Money's in the house. Had some pretty good trades yesterday. So looking forward to making some money today, right? All right, so how's the music, chat? I want to make sure that you guys are not killing your eardrums. Is the music better? All right, so I just adjusted it, guys. So let's go. The Sleeve DJ, I'm short Netflix. Can we all cancel our subscriptions, please? That's funny. Funny thing is, Netflix keeps going up, right? I mean, it seems like every month, the subscription, I'm getting an email that, hey, we're going up on our prices. So, CS369, good morning, D-Money. Hey, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Smoke, what up, D-Money? Hey, what's up? Buenos dias. Hello. Good morning, love the energy. Let's make some money. Nicole Wiggins. Hey, what's up? I appreciate that. Let's go. Jeff, my man. Man, what happened with the Bucks last night? I'm a little disappointed. So, Detroit got the win, right? So, I mean, I got to give credit to, I guess, the Lions defense because the Lions defense was on point last night. Yeah, and you're right, Jeff. Injuries as well, right? So, I saw the wide receiver went down for Tampa Bay, so a little disappointed on that. He hurt his shoulder, had a concussion, apparently too. So, Jerry, we back. D-Money, let's go. Yeah, guys. So, interesting price action to say the least, right? We've been kind of stuck in this range. So since last night, it's crazy talk right now, right? So we've been kind of like in this range. $253 up to 314, right? We've been kind of like consolidating in this range, right? So we know what that means. Something's gonna happen. Hey, Zeke G, haven't been on this stream for a while. PW got a tan. Yeah, he got a tan. He was in California. Let's go. So PW's on vacation, guys. He's gonna be back next week. So I'm gonna be streaming. I typically stream the DMONEY show, which airs live Monday through Friday, 1:30 Eastern to 4. But this week I'm gonna also be doing the AM session. All right, guys. So I just pinned my EMAs that I use because I know that question is going to come up multiple times today, right? In the chat. So I use the 14 and 50 EMA that's pinned in the chat. So off the ground, get the money bucket ready. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, right? So if you guys have been tuning in to my stream in the afternoons, or if you have caught me on the stream during the morning session, typically I'm going to wait for at least the first 5-minute opening range to kind of be established, right? And then I'll see if there's a trade set up. If not, I'll wait for the 15-minute ORB and see if I can get some kind of direction, right? But the encouraging part is that typically when there's some heavy consolidation in a range, there's going to be a move coming, right? So let's go. TradeZella, how long have you been trading DMONEY? I've been trading for over 10 years. B61, greetings from Germany. Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Where do I think the move will go, up or down? I'm not sure. All right. I mean, I'm just going to let price action kind of dictate. And pick a direction, right? And then my job is to try to capitalize on the move, either direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and map out, like I always do, basically the previous daily candles high and low. Just to have context for the session. All right, so what's a little interesting on like starting off this session, right, is that when you look immediately to the left, this is where we had Trump news, and then we had a huge sell-off to the downside, right? So I am cautious of kind of like where we're at. The last time we were in this area, we did have some selling pressure to the downside, right? Clay9 Productions, DMONEY, hey, what's up? Rozier, good morning, DMONEY. Do you ever swing trade? No, I'm not much of a swing trader. More of a scalper, price action trader. Jamalette, good morning. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Let's go. Rishad Hassan, how many green days did I have this month? I'm not sure. I don't really count the green days, to be honest. But I've had quite a few. So let me just kind of break this down real quick for you guys. So, and then we'll kind of get into what I'm seeing a little bit. So I did take a few, I took like 2 trades, guys. So this is on the Lucid accounts. This morning I actually took some buys, and I'll explain why in a second. But it's been kind of like the same pattern to start off the day, right? We've been getting basically price pushing above the EMAs on the lower time frame and getting momentum to the upside, and then we'll kind of consolidate before the market opens, it seems like. So I kind of saw a push to the upside before the market opened this morning and took some buys, right? So let's go. So I'm up about 3,000 on the Lucid accounts to start off the day. So far, right? So I'm going to be trading Lucid accounts. I got 5 of the straight to funded accounts, and then I have 5 of the Apex PA accounts. Mike S, when is your new movie I Am Legend 2 going to be released? Let's go. All right, so let me explain kind of like what I'm talking about, what I saw. And here's a sell-off, right? Like here's a sell-off happening currently at the moment. A little bit of a sell-off. 5-minute chart. All right, I saw price basically push above the EMAs with momentum to the upside. It pushed above both EMAs, the 14 and the 50 EMA. And typically when price comes back down, you know, you had an EMA cross, you had an expansion of the EMAs. When price came back down to retest, I took some buys, right? Stop loss below the EMA. And if you kind of go back on your chart, you'll see that that pattern's kind of been happening for the last few days, right? So tight stop loss, was able to pick up some points. So let's go. Russ, tick trading, holy white charts. Yeah, I do trade white charts, guys. My charts are white. I admit, yes, they are. Bino, yeah. So that push was at 710, correct. So that push above the EMAs was at 710. I basically waited for the retest and then entered at the EMAs, right? So, but we're kind of stuck in this range, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, right? Like what way are we going to expand? That's the question. Higher time frame. All right, this is the 1 hour chart. This is the current 1 hour chart. I mean, overall, we're still we're above the 14 EMA. We still have a huge gap between the 14 and the 50 EMA, so we're still bullish. But it'll be interesting to see how the market opens up. Michael Moore, the man, the myth, the legend, DMONEY. Hey, what's up? Good morning. John Galt, lower. Yeah, anything's possible, right? But the beauty of being a price action trader is I'm gonna wait for price to kind of open up. Like I said, if I don't feel good about the first 5 minute opening, ORB trade, then I'll wait for the first 15 minutes to kind of set up and then see if I can join in, right? John Fibonacci, D-Money, what was your process for scaling from one prop account to multiple once you passed your eval and started taking payouts? So, just being cautious of my position sizing and making sure that I'm not like overextending myself, because, you know, if I make 500 bucks on a trade, if I make $500 on a trade and I have 5 accounts, you know, that's $2,500, right? So that's a decent amount of money. So not, you know, just being patient, not oversizing is what I'm trying to say. Not basically going in with too much size, because you technically can spread your risks out across multiple accounts. Victor Franklin, good morning, bro. Hey, good morning. DY Patrick looks different today. Oh, man. Trading BDH Master. Good morning. Let's go. The moneymaker. Who is this person? This person is D-Money. Let's go. So I'm the host of the D-Money show that is live Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. This week, Patrick PW's on vacation, taking some time off. So I'm going to be streaming the US session as well. So, Jure Bros, that boy good. That boy good. That boy good. Aja, what's poppin', D-Money? Hey, what's up? How are you? Boycott, the EMAs are pinned in the chat. If you notice at the top, they're pinned. It's the 14 and 50 EMA. Diana, hello, D-Money. Hey, how are you? Caesar, what's up? Good morning. Peter GRO, do I read trading books? I mean, I've read like the Quarter Theory. If you guys have read that book. Trading in the Zone, which I think is one of the most like popular books, right? Like Trading in the Zone. I've read that years ago, but nothing beats real time in the market, right? Because you're gonna kind of get to know yourself really quick. Once you're trading in the market. So Mark, let's go D-Money. Let's go. Goldfinger 8, morning D-Man, morning all. Hey, good morning. Graham, afternoon from the UK. Hey, thanks for, good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. D-Money, do you think move down at open? I mean, it's possible. I mean, we're right at a level where, so if you guys were on this stream yesterday in the morning, I kind of talked about this 25,355 being an area of a struggle area, so to speak, and like we're kind of rejecting off of that right now, right? So anything's possible. I mean, overall though, on the higher time frame, we are bullish, right? We are bullish until otherwise, but this is an area that we rejected last time when we had like a 1,200 point drop because of the Trump tweet, I think. Last J, D-Money, are you going to do the trading with Patrick again or split things now? So I think you're kind of like saying like, am I going to be trading in the morning or the afternoon session? So yeah, So I'm gonna be doing the afternoon show, 1:30 to 4 p.m. So if PW wants me here in the morning for, you know, at certain times, then I'll be here, right? So let's go. Kelly, good morning. Tommy Boy 0216, Patrick picked a great substitute. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the kind words. I'm just trying to make some monies. What I will say, chat, is that I do appreciate the support from, you know, a ton of you guys. So I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. All right, guys, so there's the poll, right? So up or down at open, let's go. Steven Rosario, hey, good morning. Do I trade pre-market? I mean, I took a trade today because I saw buys, right? I saw an EMA cross with momentum to the upside, and I took a buy. So that was on the Lucid straight to funded accounts. If I see a setup, sometimes I'll take it. It just depends on what's going on. All right, so as of right now, %56% is saying, I guess, up at open. All right, let's do this, guys. All right, re-enter, guys. So market pump at open, yes or no? %63% so far is saying no. So Cal Stewart, fade the chat. I mean, all right, so as of right now, right now we got 2,700 people watching, right? So if the majority is saying that the market's gonna pump or the market's gonna dump, right? Typically that's the retail trader mindset, so to speak, right? So we'll see. I mean, and it's pretty close right now, chat, right? It's 56%. So we're pretty close to either direction, right? We're close to the middle. Live easy, that boy good. Hey, good morning. What's up? All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes before the open. This is the 5-minute chart. We're hanging out below the EMAs. So we got so far about 650 votes, and 56% is saying that the market's not going to drop, or sorry, that the market's not going to pump. So 56% of the chat so far is expecting a sell-off at the open. Steven Jr., you need an option for undecided. I mean, it's trading, right? It's either, it's gonna be yes or no, right? I mean, doesn't mean you gotta hop into a trade. You can let it play out and then make a decision. That's how I'm gonna play it, right? Exactly. Flat is also a position, guys. So there we go, right? 749 votes, 54%. Feels like the market is not going to pump at the open. We got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. In this 5-minute candle, we're starting to kind of push to the upside. So it'll be interesting to see if price kind of can close above this 292 level before it open, right? Before market open, which would be above the 14 and 50 EMA. What is my bias, DMONEY? I don't have a bias right now. The reason why is because, I mean, my overall bias is bullish long term because of the higher time frame charts, right? The 4-hour chart, it's well above the EMAs, but you know, the 14 EMA on the 4-hour chart is actually at 25,174. I'm gonna kind of let price kind of play out a little bit, right? So if I see momentum to the upside, I'm gonna join buys. But I am gonna wait for the 5-minute, more than likely the 5-minute orb to kind of set up. Ton, very small movement during pre, so let's wait for a break. Yeah, it's been kind of stuck in his range, right? I'm gonna actually map out, now that I say that, let me map out the top of this range just to have it on the chart. So like that 315 area is kind of like where price has kind of struggled to break through, right? So I kind of mapped that out. That's on the chart as well. So Ken, you don't trade the first 1 minute when open. No, I do not. I try to wait for the 5-minute ORB to set up. And what's a little strange is price is pushing right now to the upside before the market opens, right? So typically that's a lot of times, not all the time, but sometimes you get a reversal based off of that if it's pushing in one direction, but we'll see. All right, about 7 seconds left. And here's the open. Let's go. All right, previous 5-minute candle was able to close above the 5-minute EMA, 14 and 50 EMA, but we're starting to kind of have some rejection here to the downside. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna map out the 5-minute ORB, right? So when this first 5-minute candle closes, I'm gonna map out the high and the low of that candle. And I'm gonna see if price has momentum to kind of help with my bias, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm not a trader, guys, that typically jumps right in on the first 1 minute candle or whatever the case may be, right? I try to let the first 5 minute candle at least open up and close. So everybody trades differently, right? So if you guys have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. Let's go. All right, here's the sell-off that's happening, right? So let me map out. High of the candle so far, and I can always change it. I'm gonna put it as black. 304.50. So that black line and that black, you know, that so 24,304.50, right, is the high of the 5 minute candle so far, and we're selling off. Heart frame, long. Where's your stop loss? Camille K, why you drink beer at the open? So this is actually Celsius, guys. You can blame Ginger for this. She got me addicted to it. Let's go. It's not beer, guys. It's an energy drink. So all right, this is the 15-minute chart. All right, this overnight low is kind of hanging out at 253, right? 253.50, so that's an area of interest. Is it gonna swipe the overnight low in reverse? Right now we got selling pressure to the downside. Matter. The Celsius starts every day off right. Let's go. Triple bottom. I mean, it could be. All right, so far that's the low, right, of this current 5 minute candle, 25,256. So I have it mapped out. If it drops a little lower, I can always adjust it. That's fine. So I'll kind of wait for this candle to close. And like I said, so right now we're kind of retesting this area of interest, the previous overnight lows. You can kind of see it clear on the 30-minute chart. This is a 30-minute chart. And that 253 area, the last time we were here, we had a reaction back up to the upside, right? And we're starting to kind of pull back. All right, so 5 minute ORB is about to be set. Closes bearish, right below both EMAs. Pretty long wick at the bottom. So I'm just kind of waiting for a price to see if we kind of get out of this range, right? So just being patient. What I would have preferred on this 5 minute candle is that it didn't have a long wick at the bottom, right? If I was trying to get bearish, I wanted a solid like candle, momentum candle. So that's why I'm kind of waiting out for more information, right? So Long, short, long, short. Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's why I'm being patient, guys. Like I see some peeps in the chat. Oh, I told you to get long. Guys, it's easy when it's, if you took that long, congrats to you, right? But I don't necessarily trade that way. So we're kind of stuck right in the middle of this 5-minute opening range, right? We're right back where we, in the middle of it. So I'm just cautious of the area that we're in. Is it going to hold this 294 area, or is it going to reject to the downside? That's the question. Market's only been open for 7 minutes, so Peter, GRO, patience, trade will come around. Exactly. Just being patient. So if we can't get back above this 14 EMA, which is a 294 level, then that's not great for for bulls, short term. All right, this is the 15-minute chart. So look at the 15-minute chart, right? So if you're a 15-minute ORB trader, you got about 6.5 minutes left on this candle, and it's struggling, right? Pretty much back and forth. So just being patient. Trying to let the market pick the direction it wants to go, and then I want to join the move. Diego Vasquez, how many trades do I take? Typically 2 to 3 trades per session. All right, back on the 5-minute chart, right? We're still kind of just stuck in the middle of this range, 5-minute ORB range. And like I said, we need to get above 294 for, to start showing some strength to the upside if we're going to push higher, right? Because that's the 293 is about the, 1450 EMA. That would be putting us back above it on the 5-minute chart. But we're kind of stuck just in the middle. We're kind of ranging. We're ranging right now. Ton, I don't trade gold. I haven't traded gold for years. So, Ken, maybe no trade today. So I'm being patient. I mean, right now we're kind of consolidating because we're stuck in the middle of this range, right? So that's consolidation. So it doesn't mean that there won't be a trade. You just got to be more patient. So we are rejecting. Like I said, we got to close above the 14 and the 50 EMA. 293. For some kind of bullish momentum, right? If not, it could be more selling pressure coming. Right back in the middle. 15-minute range. Being established, you got about 4 minutes left. 294, if it holds, then right, because price would have to be be back above that for bulls to start kind of taking over, because that's above the EMAs. If that holds, then sales could be a lot of selling pressure coming, to be honest. That's what it's looking like so far. All right, so there's a swipe of the overnight lows. So I'm definitely bearish based off of the price action, right? And I'm gonna see if we can close below this opening range low of 256 on this current 5-minute candle. We just swiped this 253 level, right, which was the overnight low. We just swiped it. A lot of times you get a reaction back to the upside, but we're gonna see. And we do have, you got about 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left on this 15-minute ORB, right? So we're gonna actually map that out. We're gonna map out the 15-minute ORB, and it might change a little bit. Because you got about 2 minutes left, but that's fine. 354. Yeah, it's definitely selling pressure. Daniel T, your patience is rubbing off on me. LOL. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a clear setup, guys, and I'm trying to measure my stop, right? So, all right, right now on the 5-minute chart, we rejected the 14 and the 50 EMA, which is great, you know, for sells. But you have to be mindful that we just swept the overnight lows, and a lot of times you get a reaction off of that to the upside, right? So the 15-minute ORB is going to be set in 50 seconds. This is the 5-minute chart. We're getting that reaction back to the upside. All right, so about 20 seconds left, and the 15-minute ORB is going to be set. Low is 233 as of right now. We swept the overnight low of 253. And this 15-minute candle is closing below the 14 and 50 EMA. So all right.
Rejected.
Took a quick sell, guys. Out the momentum to the downside. Let's go. And I was just up. I couldn't close it for some reason. So let's see what happens. So somehow it put me in. I guess I clicked it twice. And it's reversing out, so I'm gonna have to close that out, and I'll try to re-enter. I don't know how it. Give me 1 second. I was up about $1,500 and it didn't let me, so just give me 1 second, guys. Let me see what I can re-enter on this. Basically got bottom tick, right? So all right, so let me check this 5-minute chart. 262. I'm gonna take another sell, guys.
Order filled.
Stop loss is gonna be 262. If it stops me out, that's fine. It's trying to anticipate more downside, but got to be careful in this area because the last time it was here, it did reject. So I'm cautious of that, but trying to see if we can break that 233 for more downside pressure. If I don't like the reaction, I can always close. There it is. There it is. Nice, nice, nice. All right. I'll probably close it. All right, you're saying you can't. What do you mean you can't see the screen, guys? Oh, you're saying the bottom of it? Sorry, let me adjust that. Hold on 1 second. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just kind of adjust this a little bit. So that was a sell, guys. Obviously that I was in. Let me 1 second. Yeah, I actually closed out that trade. Yes, I did close out the trade. Correct. Let's go. Always, I guess. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Always a pleasure to follow along with you, D-Money. Got to do actual work now. $700 from passing eval after today. Hey, you can get there, man. All right, let me adjust this a little bit. Yeah, so on that first trade, guys, I basically got kind of like almost like bottom ticked, I guess, if you want to call it that. So was cautious of the area, closed it, re-enter, right? So Canel Cadet, thank you, D-Money. I made 600. Nice. Nate Trades, great work, D-Money. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to play the momentum, right? So I do see that we had an EMA cross on the 5-minute chart to the downside, and you guys can kind of see the entry there. But EMA cross to the downside, 5-minute ORB actually held for the most part, right? And we rejected down, so I took the sell. Thanks, D. I made 200 on my funded account. Enough for me on that one. Big bag, no PW, and you still pulling the views. Love to see it, D. Hey, I appreciate that. Go Gidget, go Gidget. I thought you traded micros. Nah, I don't trade micros. I trade the mini. I trade minis. Trade copy in 5 accounts, right, at a time. T Hawkins up 1275. Thanks, bro. Hey, you did all the work, right? I'm just calling out what I see in the market, guys, and I'm taking trades. Let's go. Coach Canute, D, you may be a problem to the prop firms. LOL. Well, when AJ was here from Lucid, he was sweating a little bit, right? We took a pretty good trade on some buys, and I think PW made a reference. He was like, yeah, 5,000 people just made money. Let's go. Patrick is gonna retire. LOL. Well, guys, I will put it like this. You guys already know, if you've been tuning in to streams that I've been a part of. I'm a humble guy, right? So I'll take it as a compliment that PW trusts me to do the morning stream. And I don't take it for granted, right? So Savage pulled in 1100. Let's go. I'm just trying to make a little money. Sorry, you need your own show. Yeah, I actually have my own show. So PW gave me my own show, guys. So my original show, my time slot is 1:30 till 4 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. And so I'm streaming in the morning this week because PW's on vacation, right? So I'm just streaming the AM session. And you know, like I said earlier, if he asks me to come in for some morning streams, then I'll be here as well, right? So I'm just happy to be here. Dev H, 1,500 D-Money dollars. We making a little money. Nice. Win Moon, 2,700. Banking, bro. Hey, congrats. All right, so what am I looking for now? All right, so if you guys are familiar with my trading style, we're close to the close of the 1 hour candle. So this 1 hour candle is gonna close in 5 minutes, right? So I'm gonna let this 1 hour candle close, and we're gonna see how it closes out. And that's also the open of a new 4 hour candle. This is the current 4 hour chart. So I'm gonna kind of let that close out, and then I'll look for the next trade. Why 5 minute ORB and not 15 minutes? So sometimes the 5 minute ORB plays, and you can get an entry before the 15 minute ORB is established. Not every day, so that's why today you kind of saw I kind of waited. It just depends on the day, but sometimes that first 5 minute candle ORB gives you everything you need to know for the direction. But what I didn't like on this first 5-minute candle today is that you had a pretty decent sized wick at the bottom of it. So that's why I was kind of saying I was gonna wait for more information. NQ, she gone. She gone. Yeah, it's starting to reject down again, right? But keep in mind this 233 level, that's the low of the 15-minute ORB. And we're kind of hanging around right now, right? Right around that level. So this is the 15-minute chart. So the current chart is 15-minute chart. Mr. Handkey up 4,000 in my funded account. Hey, congrats. All right, so we're starting to kind of break down more, right? So I'm seeing that. I'm liking that. But I'm also cautious that we're at the end of a 1-hour candle. All right, so on this 1-hour chart, if you guys remember at the beginning of the stream, so I kind of talk about the 14 and the 50 EMA. So this 25,165 level is the 50 EMA on the 1-hour chart. If that level breaks, then the momentum on the higher time frame is starting to kind of shift to bearish, in my opinion, right? Based off how I trade. So I'm going to be kind of keeping an eye on that. We got about 2 minutes left for the close of this 1-hour candle, and then I'll look to see what price is telling me. Kareem Baker, that boy good. That boy good. That boy good. All right, so in this session, right, so far on these accounts, let's do the math on this, right? So I'm up like $4,700. Let's go. We'll see what this how this candle closes out, and we'll look for the next trade. All right, so there's my 1 minute. There's my 1 minute reminder, right? That we got 1 minute left for the close of this 1-hour candle and the close of the current 4-hour candle. Jack Hutkins, nice trading. Hey, I appreciate that. Cheryl Gilmore, hey, DMONEY, over 4,400 watching. Let's go. So guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do. If you haven't hit the subscribe button and you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit it, right? Let's go. Mark, thanks DMONEY. I just passed 5 evaluations. That boy good. Congrats. All right, guys. So Derek just pointed out 4,400 people watching, 16 likes. Sometimes that's delayed, but if you haven't hit the like button, guys, please do. Mr. Randy Watson. Yeah. Nice. So Sully said she sees 977 likes. So yeah, like I said, sometimes, and it looks like Mario just said 1,000 likes hit. So let's go. 1,000 likes before right at 10 o'clock. So that's awesome. All right, so here's the close. We just closed on the 1-hour chart bearish. We closed right above the 15-minute opening range. We're pushing down right away, right? So more selling pressure. Like for me, if the selling pressure is going to continue, I would say a short-term target for me is the 25,168 because that's the 50 EMA on the 1-hour chart. And that kind of lines up with the 4-hour chart that I'm looking at right now. This is the 4-hour chart, and the EMA, the 14 EMA on the 4-hour chart, 167 is the top of the 14 EMA. D-Money is highly patient, 2 to 3 trades, waiting for only key level setups. Yeah, I try to be patient. I burn myself when I'm not patient. I'm just being transparent with you guys. Right? So I trade better when I'm patient and I kind of know exactly what I'm looking for. It doesn't mean that every trade's going to work out, but I'm trying to take my ideal setup. My take profit is 25,093 for sales on MMQ. 25,093. I mean, so based off the higher time frame, well, remember guys, the last time we were in this area to the left, when you look left on the higher time frame, we had a huge sell-off of like 1,200 plus points. So just kind of keep that in mind. And that was a Trump drop, so to speak, but it still happened, right? So Jerome Powell, I came to answer questions. Let's go. Ashley Weller, $1,100 on the 15-minute ORB with the 5-minute ORB rejection that you called. Thanks, D-Money. Hey, you did all the work. So, all right, as of right now, you know, I'm looking to see, can we finally get a candle close below the 15-minute ORB, right? Because every time we kind of put in a low, we bounce right back into the range. So that 233 level is the low of the 15-minute ORB, right? So if we can close below there, then I wouldn't be surprised if there's more selling pressure coming. But we need a candle closure, right? Below that level. Neil Struck LLC, pretty sure you've helped a lot of people with the hard part, which is not doing something stupid, waiting for the right setup. Yeah, like, believe it or not, like that's it takes work to be patient, right? It sounds easy, and if you know, I kind of mentioned this before in a previous stream, if you're not a patient person in your personal life, you're probably not going to be a patient person as a trader, right? You're going to have to work on it. Milos, D-Money, you're still a legend. Keep going. Hey, I appreciate that. What is ORB root? That's opening range break. Opening range break. So basically mapping out the high and the low of a candle and looking for price to break in either direction. Big Bag, you're leading by example with the patience. Makes it easier for people to learn when they're watching your patience, brother. Hey, I appreciate that. Some people, I'll be honest, guys, I appreciate the positive comments. I know there's some people in the chat that want to see me take 1,000,000 trades. There was a guy on one of the previous streams that said that he had taken like 32 trades already. But I'm trying to take trades that I'm comfortable with, right? All right, so we did close below the 15-minute ORB, right? This previous 5-minute candle, which kind of tells me that the bears are in control. So it's interesting now to see if we'll hold this 242 level and get more rejection to the downside. The 242 level is basically the high of this previous 5-minute candle. Or are they going to reverse it, right? So let me check this 1-hour candle to see what it's doing. All right, so I trade wicks. So we did have a test of the previous low on this current 1-hour candle, and we had rejection back inside of the 15-minute ORB range. So that's a little interesting, to be honest, because we're pushing right back up, right? So if you kind of notice that price action. Nathaniel Brown, where is PW? PW's on vacation, so he's not going to be streaming this week. I think he said if he streams this week, maybe it's from inside of his truck. He's actually in the desert doing the Baja, right? Race. I agree, D-Money. I normally enter just before the break for 10 points, but got more with the patience. I'm still trying to understand your wick system, though. Yeah, just keep tuning in. You'll see, you'll kind of see how I trade it. This current candle is the 1 hour candle. All right, so just to kind of point out what I'm talking about with the wicks, because I get that question a lot too, right? So this current 1 hour candle basically attempted to put in the lower low versus the previous 1 hour candle, and now you got a reaction back to the upside, right? So if I'm bearish, I want price to form some kind of top wick, typically before rejecting lower. So if I'm bearish, typically I want price to immediately push to the upside, maybe form a top wick and drop lower, right? But this candle, current 1 hour candle, put in a bottom wick and now it's pushing up. So you just got to be kind of cautious of that. That price action is a little tricky, right? And right now we're back inside the 15-minute ORB. This is the 15-minute chart, and we're back inside the 15-minute ORB currently. Fares, the calmness you have, D-Money, makes everyone patient and waiting for the right trades. Hey, that's good to hear. All right, so it's starting to get some rejection, right? So I want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. All right, so if I'm a bearish trader and I trade the EMAs, if I use the EMAs like I do, price should not go back above these 2 EMAs on a 5-minute chart, right? If price is going to remain short-term bearish, the EMAs should be respected and they should act kind of like a point of resistance. If they break and we continue up, then short-term, the bears have lost control of the market. That's how EMA traders trade, right? Central pivot at 25,205. Yeah, so all right, so the fresh print's hard to get short when there's no when there's, I guess you're saying thin volume. We moved down already 80 points and we kept rejecting the lows. Yeah, so if I'm gonna get short, it would have to be off of level that price should in theory hold, which would be like an EMA, right? As close as I can to the EMA, my stop loss is right above the EMA, and I'm targeting previous lows. That's how I would have to play it, but we're right back. We're kind of playing around in this 15-minute range, right? But like right now, as an example, kind of like what I'm saying, price would have to hold 253 if I'm looking at shorts, right? And more downside pressure could come in, but just being patient, not rushing into the next trade. And the reason why is because we're right at the ORB, right? We're right at the 15-minute ORB. We're kind of playing around in this area, so I am cautious of that. Not a good sign when you're bouncing back and forth between right below the ORB and back inside the ORB. We took a couple trades, right? So I'm feeling good. ORB is opening range break. Opening range break. Joshua Baker, only 2 trades. Only 2 green trades, sorry. 5 losers. This chop is really getting to me. Yeah, so you have to be content sometimes and take what you can get and put that in perspective, right? Luke, what's my P&L on the day? I'm up, I think it's like 4,000. Almost, yeah, like 4,700. Marlio, I'm in Miramar. Do you do 101s? Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't do 101s. Tune into the stream though, and I try my best to explain how I trade as best as possible. Chef Trades took 2 trades up 1650. Nice. Let's go. All right, winning trades. What are you looking at, D-Money? What are you looking now in chart? What are the possibilities? So, all right, so price right now, it's kind of like in one of those areas. We already had a sell-off, right? We already had a sell-off. So if you kind of measure where we took the trade from, you had a 50-point drop, right, from where we took the sell-off. So we already captured some of that sell-off, right? And now price is kind of hanging around back inside of the 15-minute ORB, which is the opening range, right? So this is not an area where, you know, after taking already a sell to the downside, like why is price back at the ORB, right? You have to kind of ask yourself that like that's a little concerning, to be honest, right? Because you want to see momentum to the downside if price is going to continue dropping lower. You want to see it happen pretty quick, right? But it's right back inside of the ORB. So I don't see a setup right now to go short with price now back inside the ORB, right? So I'm just being patient, not trying to force a trade. The good news, where's Patrick? Patrick's in Mexico. He'll be back streaming next week. So I'm actually, if you haven't met me, I'm D-Money. Let's go. So I have my own show, 1:30 to 4 Eastern, Monday through Friday. I'm streaming this week during the morning because PW's on vacation this week. So he'll be back next week. Yes, the EMAs are the 14 and 50, guys. It's pinned in the top of the chat. If you notice in the top of the chat, I pinned the EMAs that I use because I get that question a lot. Born to win. Let's go. If you're enjoying the stream and being entertained, smash the like button and subscribe to the best day trading stream. Go PW and D-Money. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, so right now for me, we're right back inside the 15-minute ORB, and price could very well want, you know, more of a retest. This is a 30-minute chart, and kind of like what I'm saying, right? So price is pushing up back inside of the ORB, and if you're a bearish momentum, if you're a momentum trader, you want to see price dropping away from the ORB, right? Like with momentum, and it's back inside the range. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. You can't, you know, I'm not going to force the trade, right? We're back inside the range. And this previous 15-minute candle just closed as a bullish pin bar. So that it could be a deeper retest, like back up to the EMAs, maybe in a possible rejection. Bianca, you are so helpful and you describe everything so understandable. You interact perfectly. Thanks a lot. Hey, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Sully, D-Money, you taught me patience. So I don't think I can teach you patience. I think you're working on yourself, right? So you're doing the work. Do you like the ORB strategy? Remy, yes. I use the ORB quite often. Deborah Haynes, but you help. Yeah, I appreciate that. Amiri, looking for a retest of the EMAs on a 5-minute for another short. Price looks like it wants to push down more. I'll add from short at open. D-Money, keep rocking. Yeah, so you have to kind of be content. So like I said, this is the 5-minute chart. For a price to remain bearish, in my opinion, the way that I trade, it needs to kind of reject the EMAs, right? But it's starting to gain some momentum. Back to the upside, right? So if I'm looking for a sell, it should not get back above the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart, because it should act as an area of resistance, because the EMAs are spread apart. We got an EMA cross, so this should be an area where price rejects, right? If short term we're going to remain bearish. That's just how I trade. But we're kind of like in one of those areas where we're also back inside the opening range as well. So just kind of be mindful of that we're back inside the opening range, the 15-minute opening range. Simon, D is killing it again. Love this guy. Doesn't feel like I'm cheating on PW yet. Well, PW hired me, guys, right? So it's not cheating on PW. Like I said, I'm just happy to add value to the BDH network. So let's go. Jacob Barron, how do you scan for stocks to trade? So I'm not trading stocks. I'm actually trading, this is futures, NASDAQ. Fizel, can we get EMA settings? So they're pinned in the top of the chat. The EMAs are the 14 and the 50 EMA. So this is why, guys, like if you notice, chat, right? So this is why I'm kind of saying just be careful in this area, because look at this strength all of a sudden, right? Because we're back inside the opening range. So this is an area where I've seen plenty of times price drops, put in a lower low, and then the complete reversal happens for the rest of the day, right? So you have to be kind of cautious of that. So if you notice on the 1-hour chart, this is the current 1-hour chart. Price is starting to pick up a little bit, right, to the upside. Draco, people trying to make D-Money have a fallout with PW. Please stop. Let the man be. He is humble and loyal. When it's time to be, it will be time. But for the time being, let him cook. Yeah, guys, like yeah, like that's not gonna work, right? Like I'm humble to be here. PW didn't have to offer me a position here. I mean, there's nothing else. I can't say it any other way. So, right? I'm just happy to be here. So, let's go. All right, so remember what I kind of said earlier. So if we're short term, if the bearish momentum is going to continue, then I would expect price to kind of hold the 14 and the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. This is the 5-minute chart. So is this candle, the current 5-minute candle, is it going to close above this 25,278 level? That's the question, right? Or is this going to be a rejection here? Back to the downside. So what I would guess is maybe on the 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart, maybe you have an EMA cross to the upside already. Simon, PW and D best team on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate that. Let's go. Matter, dang, look at the manipulation. Yeah, that's why, chat, I'm cautious of when I'm taking trades, because, you know, why are we back inside of the opening range if we're bearish, right? Like, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. We should be expanding lower. I would want to see it pretty quickly. Now that doesn't mean that we won't get more downside. I'm not saying that. This 1 hour candle's only been open for 21 minutes. I get that. And the 4 hour chart, look at the 4 hour chart. This is the current 4 hour chart. So like I said, it doesn't mean that we won't sell off, but I'm just kind of cautious of, ideally for me to get short, I want price below the EMAs and outside of this ORB at this point, right? Because remember, we've been ranging since overnight. We've been kind of stuck. We're right back in the same range that we were ranging in from overnight, which is a little strange. Sandra LeBron, first time here. I like this guy. Hey, let's go. Victor, do you consider longs? No, not yet, because I need an EMA cross on the 5-minute chart, right? And I need to see bullish momentum hold on the higher time frame. So the way that I trade. So now what's interesting, on this 1 hour chart, we're right at the 14 EMA, right? So that red line is the 14 EMA on the 1 hour chart. So for price to remain bearish, we should reject this 281 level and start to push back down, right? On a higher time frame, So right now, if I'm short, my stop would be above 285 because that's the high of the previous 1 hour candle. Or sorry, the current 1 hour candle. Right? Because price shouldn't put in a higher high. It should actually start to pull back. And it's starting to pull back now with a nice little rejection. So, but we're just in a tough area because we're back inside the ORB, like I said. We're back inside the 15-minute opening range. So this is the 15-minute chart. Where this could have, is this just simply a retest of the EMAs and a rejection back to the downside? That's what remains to be seen, right? William D, you good? Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks. Kamal, happy opening day for the NBA DMONEY. Yeah, I thought it's today or is it tomorrow? I thought it was Wednesday. I thought it was tomorrow. Or at least the games I'm interested in watching is tomorrow. So. All right, so we're pulling back on the 15-minute chart. 5-minute chart is rejecting the EMA, right? It's rejecting. Let's see how this candle close back below the 14, right? So this current 5-minute candle, that's what I'm looking for. If this current 5-minute candle closes below the 14 EMA, then there might be more downside coming. But you still have to be cautious because you're kind of like in the middle of that 15-minute ORB. Lakers and Warriors tonight. Let's go. I mean, LeBron's hurt, but Luka's playing, right? So should be a decent game. I know you used the 14 and 50 EMA, but it looks like there's a difference on my chart. See, I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so Here's that sell-off back down, right? Derek, yeah, you might want to check your time frame. Right now, I'm on a 5-minute chart. I'm on a 5-minute chart right now. And it looks like we want new lows, right? That's what it's looking like. Let's go. D-Money, you should get that boy good t-shirts made. Yeah, hey, that's a good idea. I think we're working on that. Yeah, I want to see, guys, how this 5-minute candle closes out. That's what I'm waiting for. So, Kelly, holy flush. Yeah, so, all right, let's check it out, right? The 1-hour chart. Currently, you're getting rejection out the 14 EMA. Back to the downside, right? So new lows could be in play. Hawk. D, are you going to be in the morning sessions for the time being? Yes, I'm going to be in the morning for the rest of the week. And then I'm doing both streams this week, right? Morning session and the afternoon session. And then next week it'll be probably back to afternoon, and unless PW has me come in for some morning trade sessions, right? So let's go. Celebrity watch. I'll be here. D-Money. Nice. All right. So we're getting a. It looks like we want to put in a low. Yep, there it is. So there's the lower low put in. So that was a nice rejection off the 5-minute. In between the 14 and the 50 EMA, we got a rejection. So buyers got trapped, and we're back in. Lower low was just put in. And we got about 35 seconds left for this candle. Dangerous area, Master Wheel Mobile. Yeah, I agree, right? You got to be careful. So on days like this, like the EMAs kind of keep me out of trouble, because if I'm looking to sell, it would have to be probably right off the EMA. Or if I want to control my stop, then the previous 5-minute candle, as an example, if I'm looking to go short, the high of the previous 5-minute candle probably needs to be my stop loss, because the way I look at it, if price puts in a higher high compared to the previous 5-minute candle, then I don't want to be in the trade anymore, right? If I'm looking to go short. But we're hanging out right below the RB. All right, new 30-minute candle. We got a long wick at the top that rejected the EMAs. So yeah, this is some nasty price action, chat. This is some nasty price action, because now it's kind of like, right, where would your stop be if you want to get short? Because the wick on this current 30-minute candle, as an example, is 50 points to the upside, right? So like where you would have to kind of measure it, you're gonna have to measure this out. So even to the top of this candle on the 5-minute chart, it's 35 points. Somebody said get long, stop at 197. Well, we just had a rejection. We had a sell-off of 50 plus points, right? So Deborah Haynes, so bad risk to reward. Yeah, you just got to measure. You got to measure your stop. You got to know where to put your stop. That's the only concern that I have. Like if I'm not shorting off the EMA, where is my stop going to be? So what I would like to happen on the lower time frame, maybe we get a push up and I can kind of measure the stop. But as of right now, we're we're kind of hanging out in this range, right below the ORB. This isn't normal price action, right? Typically we'll get a flush in one direction, but we're kind of like hanging out. So I'm just cautious of that. Ninja of Sadness, I'm short 230 from 231. Target is 153. So on the 1 hour chart, 50 EMA is 168. If they're gonna flush it, I mean that's possible. That is possible. I wouldn't be surprised, right? All right, I'm gonna take a short, guys. My stop is gonna be 233 or 234, which is actually above the ORB, right? Entry was 215.75. Let's go. Trying to get more downside. Trying to see if we can flush here. If we don't, that's fine. We can always close, but and as I say that, we're kind of reversing, right? So let's see if we get a flush or not. I think I was up like 5 points. So if it takes out this 234 range, I'm going to be out of the trade. And I lowered my position size, guys, so I'm still profitable on the day, right? If the trade doesn't work out, I lowered my position size. So, and it's looking like they want to bounce right back inside the range. So let's see. Like I said, my entry was, I got about an 18-point stop on one contract. All right, it's gonna stop me out. It's tapping the ORB. Yeah, and it's right back to the range, so I'm stopped out.
Order filled.
All right. So we'll kind of see if we reject here. Switch to the... What I wanted was a flush, more continuation to the downside. We're ranging, guys, right? We're stuck in his range. So I had a 18-point stop on that trade. Still up about 3,500 on the day, so not worried. I just tried to join the momentum, right? Didn't work. It happens. So the thought process was, since we kind of hung out at right below the ORB, that it would start rejecting. And kind of give us more downside pressure, and it didn't happen, right? So it's right back inside the ORB, so no mas. RMAC, what up, D? You're doing your thing, and I'm really enjoying the show. You took a short off the pivot point. Yeah, I don't trade pivot points. I'm a price action trader, and I just wanted a breakdown of the OR, below the ORB, and it didn't happen, right? I mean, it happens. So we're kind of right back inside of the opening range. What I saw on the current 15-minute chart is I saw rejection right off the EMA, so that's why I wanted to get short. But I wasn't going to give it a ton of room. So that's why I closed it out, right? 13 points, so. Which, for me, right, it's kind of ranging. So this is where I'm at on those accounts. Just trying to be transparent, right? So still green, not worried about it, right? It happens. But that's why it's important to have a controlled stop. And I lowered my position size just in case it did what it's doing right now, right? Because I wasn't going to get back, obviously, all of my profit for the day. So. So not much going on right now. I mean, it's kind of hanging out. It's ranging. I saw this also on the 30-minute chart, right? Like the rejection of the EMAs on the 30-minute chart. So that's why I wanted to take a stab at a short. But like I kind of mentioned, I think earlier, your stop would have had, if I wanted to get to the top of the range for my stop loss, my stop would have had to be like 50 points, and I wasn't going to give it that. EMA settings are 14 and 50. That's pinned at the top of the chat. Ryan, D, what's your rules on losing trades one and done? I mean, it just depends, right? I mean, I need to see, for me to get short now, I need to see a convincing setup because it keeps bouncing back inside of the ORB, right? The 15-minute ORB. So that's not ideal price action. I took a stab at it. I'm happy I lowered my position size to 1 contract per account, and on to the next trade. But we're right back in that range, which is a little bit of concern. It's a little bit of a concern, and we're expanding higher again, right? So like look at this price action. Let's go. Gotta love it. Casey Courtney, do you normally do 2 contracts per account? Yeah, my normal size is typically 2 contracts. I went down to 1 per account because we've been bouncing back inside of the ORB, and just in case it popped up on me, I was able to control my risk and still be green on the day, right? That was a pivot at 205. Yeah. So guys, I'm not a pivot point trader. I'm not saying that pivot points don't work, but I'm a price action trader, and I'm basically just kind of going off of rejection of intent. To be honest, my sell should have been kind of like where we're at right now, and my stop loss should have been above the EMAs, to be honest, right? But I didn't do that. I got in early. So because if price is going to remain bearish, it should kind of respect. We're ranging right now, right? So in a range market, technically, I should be shorting at the top of the range, not at the bottom of the range. So, and my stop should be above the previous high, right? That's there at the top of the range, and I didn't do that. So, paid the price. It happens. Amiri, DMONEY, try looking into volume profile. It will really help you with price action strategy, game changer for price action. Yeah, I tried the volume profile. For me, I actually got too caught up in it, meaning that I would be like, oh, there's so much volume right here, right? Price has to have some kind of reaction. And I was kind of putting more weight on it than I should have, so I took it off. But you know, what's cool is that everybody, you know, you can make money a ton of different ways trading, right? So that's the cool part. So if it works for you, it worked for you. If you find out a way to tweak it for your trading style, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I'm not here, chat, to knock anybody's trading style, any indicators that you use, right? I'm just trying to be the best trader I can be, so. Let's go. We need another energy drink, D. No, I mean, I still got quite a bit left. It's just today, you know, it's like nasty price action, right? It is. It's like you got a lower low that's put in, and then price is right back inside the opening range. So that's something like if you're going to short, and you see how, like what I was kind of saying now, right? So like my short should have been at the EMAs, and my stop loss should have been above maybe the previous high, that kind of, you know, this 284 level. I would have had probably a 15-point trade. But this is not ideal price action. It's not, right? So every trade doesn't work. You know, I'm not a perfect trader. My entries aren't gonna always be A+. In hindsight, everything's easier, right? When you kind of look back like, oh, I should have got in up here. Like, that's not where I took the trade, right? I took the trade anticipating more downside to happen, and you had to push up, so. Hey, DMONEY, are you perm long on any stock? So I would say right now, NVIDIA looks really good. Apple looks really good right now because of what's going on, right? So I'm sure you guys probably saw the Apple news. So yeah, I mean, Apple's not going anywhere. NVIDIA is only going to get stronger, in my opinion, right? Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. So I'm just kind of calling out what I see. Yeah, today's a little slower, right? So now that could very well mean that we're going to get more price action in the afternoon session, right? Because typically it's not normal for us to range like this during the US session. Haha, Todd, listen to me. Only buy and sell near your EMAs. You're gambling if you don't. I won't tell you again. LOL, right? I know, right? But that is typically how I trade, chat, right off the EMAs, using it as support and resistance, and that trade would have been fine, right? So that works extremely well, especially on range days, because you know you can have a measured stop that's better, and that's why I kind of lowered my size, and I had a lower stop loss, 13 points, because just in case it pushed back up, I was out of the trade. And every trade's not going to work, right? So, but look at, all right, this is the 15-minute chart, sideways action, barcoding, right? We're barcoding. Edgar Leon, Ginger is a great talent hunter. Let's go. Crash day. I mean, it could be, but I mean, it is strange price action because we're right back inside the opening range. So definitely not gonna force another trade, right? So because if you're a momentum trader, you want price to kind of push away quickly from the area that you're entering in, right? So why is it back? Why are we right back inside the ORB? It's like it's already 10:46 and we're right back inside the ORB. So got to be cautious. Why don't I trade ES? It's just it moves a little too slow for me. There's people that make a lot of money on ES. I'm not knocking ES. I don't knock gold. Obviously, gold has a lot of movement. I just never caught the, I guess, timing, if you want to say, of gold, right? Where every time I try to trade it, it's a chop fest. So I just stuck to NASDAQ. Go heavy on one A+ setup near EMAs. I know that doesn't work for entertainment and streaming, but this is a money-making business. Yeah. So that's why, guys, I try to take, typically I'll take, obviously, the ORB trade and then EMA rejections. But a lot of times if you go outside your strategy, you're gonna pay the price, right? You pay the price to learn. We're just kind of hanging around, right? We're kind of hanging around back inside the range. Nothing really telling in either direction right now. Sib, gold is melting like butter. Yeah, I mean, and isn't it a little frustrating, right? Because like you see one pair moving with some solid movement and then NQ's kind of playing around, right, in this range. Johnny Moore, thanks for helping me be more patient, D-Money. Hey, you're doing all the work, right? So I just show you guys how I trade, and I try to take the best setups that I can take. I'm not always going to be perfect, right? But I try to make some monies. Ton, I left the house and came back and we're still at the same spot. Exactly. Yeah, there's not much going on right now. Edgar at Brickle Crypto Trader, LOL. D-Money F1 love it. Yeah, something's coming, right? There's a big move that's coming. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we're building up for something, right? That's for sure. Because typically, and what I mean by that is typically when you get this consolidation, you get, we're stuck. All right, so think about it. Overnight range, we were stuck at that 261. We just put in a low at 203. Now we're right back inside of that previous range that we were stuck in overnight, right? So typically when that happens, there's a big move coming to either direction. Now, I don't know when that move is coming, right? I wish I did, but this consolidation means that there's something that's going to be, something's coming. Frostbit, this price action reminds me of when the market crashed. Yes, I agree. Oh man, usually PW would be calling us, are you saying retarded right now? Right about now? LOL. You know what's cool, guys? Like I'm you know, I'm not PW, right? Like we're different, but we still, you know, obviously we love trading, and we're momentum traders. You know, he looks at some different things on the chart, some of the same things actually we look at, and that's trading, right? Like you don't have to. That's the cool part about it. Like I said, I feel like he's the best trader, opening trader that I've actually watched. So I'm trying to actually pick up little nuggets here and there from him to be better at the open. FPL Fantasy, DMONEY, what's your dream travel destination? So I have not been to Hawaii. That's definitely one of my dream vacation spots. I've been to Jamaica multiple times. I think like 3 times. Hawaii is on the list. Maybe like Thailand. Let's go. You should go to Hawaii with BDH company car. Yeah, I need to tell Ginger like let's when PW's out, let's go. We'll be looking at those charges like, what is going on? I'm pretty sure that will be my last day at the BDH, guys, so I'm not gonna push it. How long have I been trading? Over 10 years. I've traded stock options, penny stocks, Forex. You pretty much name it. I've tried it. I didn't make any money in penny stocks, but I've made money trading Forex. Got payouts with Forex prop firms, as well as stock options, stocks, that kind of stuff. Do I have a family? Yes, I have a daughter. She's gonna turn 2 next month, believe it or not. So Cagney just started watching. Any trades today? Yes, I took trades, all sales today. I'm up about $3,000 across 5 accounts. Let's go. But we're kind of right back in this range, right? So if you notice the price, this is why I was saying it's like strange price action today. So now we're kind of smack dab right back in the middle of the 15-minute opening range, right? So if you're short and you didn't actually take profit, you're probably getting stopped out now. Lima, I think everybody started trading because of Tim Sykes, myself included. Yeah, Tim Sykes was the guy that basically got me into the whole penny stocks idea, right? That's funny. Richard Hardy, it's really cool taking tidbits from you and PW. I have done well figuring your wick strategy. Hey, I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear that, right? So, all right, the question is going to be right now, this is the 5-minute chart that we're looking at. Is price going to continue to the upside and break this 304 level, which is the top of the 15-minute opening range? There's a lot of sellers that are getting trapped right now because they're probably shorting right off the EMA. Or if you go to the 15-minute chart, maybe they had their stop above this previous candle's wick, that 285 level. So maybe they're getting chopped up. Brickle Crypto Trader, DMONEY, Zona Fresca, it's better than Chipotle and Local. Fort Lauderdale, my favorite there. I might have to check that out. I went to Chipotle yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't happy with the food. Yeah, like it wasn't seasoned right. Like it was like lacking some seasoning, and it was a little disappointing in Chipotle yesterday. F Torres up 1370 today. 2 trades. Thanks, BDH. Let's go. Binu, Chipotle sucks now. Lima, Chipotle went downhill. Yeah, I think it's hit or miss now. Right? I mean, sometimes it's good, and then you go in there, and then it's half of the time the employees in there, they're like pissed off that you're coming in there. Like, right? Like, they don't want you to be there. So, but yeah, I wasn't impressed with the food yesterday. I'm not going to lie. All right. So, will we break out of this opening range? That is the question. GOZ up 400 in the last day to request a payout tomorrow. Hey, I would just look for A+ setups that you're comfortable with and go from there, right? All right, so we're back above the 14 and 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. That's the chart that I'm on, which means that we probably were back up. Obviously, we're back above it on the lower time frame, the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute chart. And it's looking like price wants to expand above this 304 level, right? Which is the 15-minute ORB. This 15-minute candle has some momentum to it. To the upside. Future profit traders, there's the long I was looking for. Yeah, it's... All right, this is a 30-minute chart. Price has some decent momentum to the upside. It's looking like, I mean, there's still about 1 minute and 15 seconds left on this candle for price to close above this 304.50, right? Which would be a positive for bulls, and we'll be back above both EMAs. Current 1 hour chart. So we swiped the lows of the previous 1 hour candle, and now we're quickly approaching the top of this range, which is at 304.50, right? Which is the 15-minute ORB. So got to be careful in this area. Taco Bell is better than Moe's. It's funny how like it's like a preference thing, right? All right, so we are about 7 seconds left on this 15-minute candle. Seems like we're gonna close above both EMAs, and we're right above the ORB. There was a lot of shorts that got squeezed, right? So there might be maybe a pop to the upside to break. Are we gonna break out of this opening range to the top side, to the upside, right? 304.50 is the area that I'm referring to. ES is flying. A lot of trappy trap. That's why you can't get stuck on a bias, right? So the current 1 hour candle, this is the current 1 hour candle. It put in right at the open a higher high than the previous 1 hour candle, and now we're rejecting down, right? So if I'm looking for buys, I would want to see price kind of push down, form a bottom wick, and then continue to expand higher, right? But we are right back inside the ORB, so that's the tough part. We're in a tough area right now. Right back inside the 15-minute opening range. Right? Haven't closed above it. Short term for me, buyers are in control based off the higher time frame, right? So if we can hold a 14 and a 50 EMA, for me, short term buyers are in control. So this 25,273 and 25,265. Those are two areas of interest in regards to price being short-term bullish. Because on the 5-minute chart, the EMAs need to hold, right, for price to continue to expand higher with momentum. Aba up. What's even your real name? My real name is Demarius. Let's go. Bart D. Labar. Good job, D Money. Taking my profits and getting ready to head to South Dakota for some peasant hunting. Hey, congrats, man. Nothing wrong with that. Right? This price action is a little weird today, so right back inside. We're still inside the 15-minute ORB, guys. It's 11 o'clock, so that's definitely a little weird, right? O Trader Financials, the funded trader. D Money, do you like ice cream? I knew it was coming. All right, so we're right back. We're pushing right back down, right? So this 272 level, that's the 14 EMA on the 15-minute chart. And we're just ranging right now. We're just kind of like stuck in a range. What is ORB? ORB is the opening range breakout. Opening range break. So if you notice on this chart, so this black line at the top, 25,304.50, and the bottom line, 25,233. That's the first 15-minute candles high and low. And typically, if price is gonna have a nice trend day, it's gonna break out of the range either to the upside or downside, and it's not gonna come back, right? It's gonna, preferably, you will want price to break out of the range and continue in one direction. And we're right back inside of that range. So that to me smells like consolidation, right? That's like a range day so far, or consolidation, whatever you want to call it. Paying registers. D, I just subscribed. Did you bring in any new subs today besides me? Yeah, I saw some pop up, and I appreciate the support. Yeah, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe this is your first time tuning in, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't liked the stream, please like. Let's go. CS369, D my bro, I hope PW pays you enough because you're a great guy. I love the vibes here, brother. Yeah, guys, I'm blessed to be here. So all right, so we are respecting the EMA so far, right? And as I say that, we're kind of retracing. So for bulls, like I kind of mentioned, short term, this 264 level, 265 level needs to hold. Short term, for price to remain bullish. If it doesn't hold, then that's not good for bulls. So this is definitely a kind of take your profit and be content kind of day so far, because we're kind of stuck in this range, right? And what I mean by that, when I say that we're stuck in a range, we're pretty much stuck in this 70-point opening range. So yeah, it's about 71 points, right? We've been kind of stuck back and forth within this range. So speak about gold. I don't trade gold, so that's why I don't bring up gold. I don't trade gold. Pip Squad Z, I'm new in the house. D Money. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Live easy. Yo, DMONEY, that boy good. I appreciate it. Larry, do I use VWAP? No, I do not use VWAP at all. So, all right, we're holding, right? We're holding this 265, 266 area. And, all right, 30-minute chart. $258, 267. Just seeing, right? If we can get a break above this 304, I mean, that would be, every time we kind of get close, we pull back. All right, somebody wanted me to look at ES. This is ES. ES is pushing higher, right? So it's above the EMAs on a 1-hour chart. It's pushing higher. So you might get more upside coming for, you got an EMA cross on the 5-minute chart to the upside. If I kind of look at this, right? Let's do this just to kind of get some comparison. 930 chart. This is the top of the opening range. This is the bottom of the opening range, and we broke out above it, right? So we're above the opening range so far on ES. ES is looking bullish. Signal Sprouts, I use a 14 and 50 EMA. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So yeah, take a look at the top of the chat. It's pinned. I used the 14 and the 50 EMA. So the question is NASDAQ gonna push higher and break out of this opening range to the upside, right? Yeah, 14 and 50 is just a preference thing for me. It's nothing, you know, not saying that it's better than any other EMAs. I just used it for years and I stuck with it. That's all. All right, so are we going to hold this 266 area, right? So if I'm in a buy, that's a 20-point stop. I like the retest. I'm going to take a quick
Order
buy.
filled.
I'm only trading one contract, just trying to see if we can bust above this 288 level for more upside. If we take out 268, I'll be out of the trade. I just like basically the retest of the EMA and then it held right on the 5-minute chart. That's what I'm going by. So we'll see if we get an expansion to the upside to test this 304 level. I want to see some momentum, right? If it stalls, that's not good. But like I said, I needed to hold this 270 area. And I'm only trading one contract, guys, per account. So I lowered the risk. Make sure I lock in profits on the day. And I'm looking for an expansion to the upside. Want to see if 304 can get tested. All right, we're at 300, so that's 10 points roughly, right? So I want to see if it'll snap it. If it kind of stalls, I'll close. And it's pulling back right from the level. But I wanna give it a little bit. Let's see if it'll bust through that 304. This has been an area of resistance though. It's pulling back. Yeah, I'm gonna just close, guys. Every time it gets in that area, it's kind of struggling, right? So I tried to give it a little bit of time, but it's pulling back. So let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks it, and I might re-enter. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Let's see where I'm at. You got a couple minutes left on this 15-minute candle. And you're see how we're starting to get that reaction like back down? I don't like that price action, right? That's what I'm talking about. Now my stop, it has to be below like 270 because that's the low of that's the 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart. So are we gonna get a retest down before pushing up, or is this thing gonna pop? Yeah, it was still a nice gap. I mean, I'll take it. But you see how we're pulling back? Like, that's not ideally what I want to see, but all right, so 270 is kind of like a line in the sand, right? Because it shouldn't kind of $270 is the low of kind of like the previous 5-minute candle, right? This 1105 candle, that's what I'm looking at. Price is pushing down on a new 5-minute candle, no bottom, no top wick. And it's right back in that area, right? So no top wick on this current 5-minute candle. And it's struggling, right? Yeah, it's ranging a little bit, exactly, right? So, and if you're a momentum trader, like, you don't want to see it ranging, right? You want to see a breakout. Let me kind of check, because this is the opening of a new 15-minute candle. So, all right, price is kind of like in an area where, is there going to be more downside coming because it's tight, right? The EMAs are tight, so it could drop and retest the low of the opening range, which is at 233. So that's why I closed it out, and we're kind of retracing, right, as I speak. Yeah, don't like, exactly. That's why I was out, guys. Took the profit and ran. Right back down. So, all right. So this is an example why like ES and like these other things that people trade, right? Like you have to kind of be careful. Just because they're breaking out doesn't mean that NASDAQ is going to break out, right? Or sometimes it happens, but it's delayed. The breakout comes, but it's delayed. And like, interestingly enough, like I said, this 5-minute candle doesn't have a wick at the top of it at all. So that's kind of strange as well on this current 5-minute candle. All right, so let's see. 1 hour chart. What are we looking like on the 1 hour chart? This is the 1 hour chart. Control selling, yeah. What does the no wick suggest? That there could be a lot of times when price opens up with no top wick, it'll reverse and end up being green. It doesn't happen all the time, but a lot of times it does. Pastor Mike's Day Trading. I'm $98.88 to qualify my account. So you're probably saying for, I guess, passing an eval. Hey, you're almost there. A+ setups, right? Take some setups that you're comfortable with. Don't rush it. If you don't see a clear setup, you don't have to trade it, right? This price action is nasty. So as soon as we get to the top of the range, we reject it back down, right? So if you think about it, the candle that from the high of the candle I was in on, we just had a 58-point drop to the downside. So that's why, you know, if I don't see price action that I like, if I'm in a buy, meaning that if I don't see momentum to the upside, I'm going to close it. And especially on a day like today. But literally from the high of the candle I was in on, we just had a 58-point drop. So green is green, exactly. Let's go. Slow day, no breakout allowed. Yeah, it's not happening right now. But a lot of times when price kind of stalls like this, you'll get some nice movement in the power hour time or the afternoon session. So, and guess what, chat? I'll be back. Let's go. 1:30, right? I'll be back today at 1:30. I'll be trading and streaming 1:30 to 4. Harsh Singh, do I have my own channel? I found your live very informative. So I do have a YouTube channel, guys, but I'm not active on there. I haven't uploaded videos on there in years, to be honest. So it's funny because if you look at those YouTube videos, I got like my charts are like even crazier, right? There's like a million indicators and like all of that stuff. So the best way to catch me is actually on PW's stream. So his page, his channel. So I stream every day, Monday through Friday. It's going to be 1:30 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here this week, 9 a.m. to 11:30 for the open session. And then basically, if PW has me in the morning for, you know, whatever, right? Maybe there's a guest or he wants me to come in the morning, I'll be here. So let's go. Sean, DMONEY needs to be an FAQ. Same questions every day, over and over. Yeah, it's definitely a little repetitive, but guys, if you haven't looked at the top of the, I'm gonna start pinning, like, I guess more of some of the frequently asked questions, so to speak, I guess. So the EMAs are pinned at the top. 14 and 50 EMA is just a preference thing. Today's one of those nasty days, right, where it's kind of take what you can get, be content. And the encouraging part with trading though is that there's going to be a move coming, right? So the longer we kind of stay in this range, the bigger move, you know, it's building up. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today, but it's definitely going to come, right? Because price doesn't say stuck in a range forever. I mean, we know that, but it's definitely ranging. The Sleeve DJ, what is your favorite cheese? Let's go. Yours is cheddar. I mean, I'm not opposed to cheddar. It depends on, I think that's a tough question. It depends on what kind of sandwich or whatever, right? PW's coming back Monday. So he'll be streaming his normal mornings US sessions, right? Starting Monday. He's on vacation this week. He's in Mexico. And then I'll be streaming my normal 1:30 to 4 p.m. next week, right? Which covers Power Hour. No name. Do not trade this market. Manipulated price action. Yeah, it's pretty much looking like that, right? So we took, I took what, 3 to 4 trades, guys. So I'm green on the day. I think that alone in itself, based off the price action, is a win because of how it's kind of shaping up, right? Like one of those crazy days. Eric, did I catch the gold sell-off? No, I did not. I don't trade gold. And what's funny, it's funny you said that because, like, all right, perfect example for me why I don't trade gold. Like, today's a huge sell-off. So I'll be like, oh, I'm going to trade gold, right? And then tomorrow's a chop fest. So I've never caught any kind of movement on gold. So I stick to NASDAQ. To each his own, right? I know there's a lot of people out there that make a lot of money on gold, but I don't switch back and forth. I stick to NQ. Do I miss PW? Yeah, I miss PW. I love you. I love you. PW, we love you. But I also realized, guys, like, remember, I was in retail management. So I used to work extremely long hours, extended periods of time with no days off. So having a break is not only good for your mental health, but just everything in general, right? So Buttons the Cat, have I read any books or any books I recommend? I think you're referring to probably trading books. So Trading in the Zone for me is probably the best book that I've went through, right? I've read Quarter Theory as well. Yeah, it's just interesting, guys, like, right? So all right, so if I look to the left at this price action, we've been stuck in this range that we're right back in since 1:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? We were kind of like in this range at 1 o'clock in the morning overnight. So that kind of tells you everything you need to know about this price action. So Frank Dillon, Mark Douglas. Yes, exactly. Mark Douglas. Yep. Let's go. I'm not able to pass my trading evaluation account. Any tips or tricks I can follow? So I think take it as slow as you need to take it, right? So I think one of the biggest mistakes you can take is trying to rush it, or maybe you're looking at P&L of other traders online on social media, and that's not going to help you, right? Like, meaning that if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, that's not really going to help you, right? It's cool to be encouraged and to know what the possibilities are out there, meaning that, okay, hey, this person had a $40,000 day, or this person made $10,000 today, or whatever it is. But you're at your own, you're in your own pace. D-Money doesn't miss the chat. Let's go. So guys, if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe this is your first time tuning in, we appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button. Let's go. It's forming a right shoulder. Yeah, I mean, but look to the left, right? Look to the left on the chart. Like, it's done this multiple times, so I need a breakout, right? I want price to pick a direction, which it's coming right at some point. I just don't know when. So I would just be cautious in this area. Mario, 3,000 viewers. Hit the like button. Let's go. Yeah, we got over 3,000 people watching, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you're not subscribed, let's go. You know what to do. I wish it was better price action, but hey, I'm back for the afternoon session, right? And maybe we'll get it this afternoon. Maybe we'll get a breakout and then we'll get some clear direction. It'll finally get out of this zone. So I don't know what's building up here. All right, let's go to the 4-hour chart. This is the 4-hour chart that we're looking at. The 14 EMA currently on the 4-hour chart is at 25,180. We got down to 25,203. So we were like, what, 23 points away from that 14 EMA, and then we got a reaction back to the upside. So it remains to be seen what's coming, right? But something's coming. What time this afternoon? So I'll be streaming this afternoon at 1:30 to 4 o'clock Eastern time. It's one of those days for NQ. It's waiting for ES. Yeah, it could be. Driz, what's my NBA team? So I do, man. So I do follow LeBron. So obviously LeBron, he played for Miami, and then he moved out to LA, right? So now he's in LA. So I kind of follow the Lakers. I do watch some Heat games. I know Tyler Hero's out, so he's gonna be out for a little bit. So, and I know actually LeBron's gonna be out. They're saying maybe until December, which is a little bit disappointing. So don't go, please. I'm on. I gotta go, but I'll be back, right? I'll be back at 1:30. So Dodgers or Blue Jays? Felix Dominguez. I think the Dodgers, just because of Ohtani, right? Like, how can you bet against Ohtani? The guy just had like 10 strikeouts in that one game and 3 home runs. Like, are you serious, right? I mean, you gotta be honest. AJ, LeBron needs to hang it up. I mean, you might not be wrong on that. D-Money, lunch or push-ups? Well, I only do 5 push-ups, guys, 5.5. So that's not going to take up the whole lunch break. And remember, it'll be 6 starting January 1st. That's my New Year's resolution, right? So I'm going to do 6 push-ups. Let's go. D-Money, I usually trade on my own. I passed 5 evals with 200 daily profits being disciplined. Then when I got funded, I felt like I was taking the same trades, risking $150, and I slowly bled my fundeds. So I think when you're funded, something clicks, something happens in your brain when you're kind of like I know for me, I can only speak for myself. Starting out getting like my first funded accounts, I was only focused on the payout. I was too focused on the payouts, and that's what kind of led to my downfall on blowing some accounts. So I would say try to focus on taking the A+ setups and not worry about the payout. Just focus on trading A+ setups, right? That's probably the best advice I can give you. I sub for D-Money's hairline secrets. Let's go. What is the best time to trade? I would say, well, if you're looking for volatility, typically the US session, right, which is 9:30, typically to about this time. And then it picks up again normally, right? Not every day is different, but normally it picks up again in the afternoon. I don't have any thoughts on ICT, guys. I'm not here to, I'm a price action trader. I'm not here to say that what works, what doesn't work. It's a preference thing. So looking squeezy. Yeah, it might finally pop, right? So, but either way, for me, it needs to be out of the opening range with conviction. So D-Money been smoking that weed. Nah, I'm not a smoker myself, right? So, all right, guys. So that's it. That's it for I'm gonna call it now. All right, we're still kind of stuck in this range. I'll be back at 1:30 for the afternoon session, and we'll see if we can catch more trades, right? So let's go. Catch you guys in the afternoon.